Hockey fans, we are here with a great one. From the Rock Springs Grizzlies, it's Wes Mussio. Wes, we have you in the room here. It's draft day. You guys are getting to work right now building the future of the Rock Springs squad. How's that room doing? How are we feeling on draft day?
Oh, we're pretty confident because we got the first overall draft pick, and I think we're going to get a pretty successful outcome from that draft pick. We've already sort of predicted who we're going to pick and talk to the agent and so forth. And looks like the person will report, which is always the biggest concern you have. You know, you can pick like the best player in the world, but if they don't come, it's a useless pick. So you got to pick somebody that's more realistic in terms of coming to the NCDC and being a member of your team, right?
Yeah, and talk about that. Having the first pick in a draft is, no matter what league, no matter what level, no matter where in the world, it's always such a big moment, right? You get to start things off, you kick things off. Are you a delay the whole clock kind of guy for the pick, or are you guys hitting the button right away when we start?
I will make a decision right away, I think. Yeah, we've decided where we're going to go, and we'll take a chance. But, you know, these drafts are tough because it all comes down to the participation of the players. I mean, even in the Western Hockey League or Major Junior up in Canada, you know, first overall draft picks don't always show up. So you always have to make sure you're the fellow that you're picking's, you know, honestly considering coming to your program at some point in the future, right?
Yeah, and now you look at this new phase 2 in the draft, 04 to 06 birth years. You'll have 4 rounds of picks in phase 2 for that. Talking about kind of the preparation that goes into this new look draft model and kind of what you guys are doing to prepare for it.
Well, I mean, the bottom line with, you know, we started the team last year and came in very late, like literally, I think we got the franchise within a matter of a day or two of the draft. So we weren't at all prepared last year, but this year, you know, we've been starting to really develop a lot of our contacts and so we've been using, you know, scouting contacts and player agent contacts and so forth to, you know, really focus on who's going to participate in the league, not who may be the best player out there. Because it's clear that you have to have a level of participation. You know, our last year in the draft we didn't get much participation, to say the least, but we didn't really know as much about the U.S. hockey and the whole system because literally we just opened the franchise a couple of days earlier. But this year we're much more confident that, you know, the picks we're going to go for are going to be people that can legitimately add to the team and will show up in Rock Springs and definitely contribute for years to come.
And that's the thing, folks. I don't know if everyone understands. Like, you guys were out of a cannon. You guys were in and you were drafting, it felt like, in mere minutes, right? And already an expansion team coming in that first season, learning a new community there in Rock Springs, getting to know the people, building that organization. That's a crazy big build in a short period of time. This second year, I'm excited to see what's coming to Rock Springs. Can you kind of talk about the plans in the community, the plans with the building, the plans with the team itself in Rock Springs? What do we got going on in Grizzly Nation this year?
Well, I mean, we were behind the 8 ball because the other teams in the West, generally speaking, were already established teams in the Western States Hockey League and elsewhere. And so they came in with, you know, knowledge. They had players on the pipeline and so forth. We came in completely sort of blind in a way because we came down from Canada, from the BC Hockey League. So it was a struggle the first year, but, you know, I'm pretty comfortable to say that our team's going to be vastly better next year coming up because we've been really going hard on, you know, getting out in the community, figuring out players that'll be willing to come out to the West and the NCDC and, you know, players that can play at the level. And, you know, I'm very surprised actually when I came into this league, you know, you hear rumors and you hear this and that, and you listen and you perceive something. And the perception was the NCDC wasn't very high level hockey, but I'd have to disagree. I mean, coming out of the BC Hockey League where I was an owner for, you know, half a decade, or I just can say with great certainty, teams like Ogden and Southside could, you know, compete with the very best teams in the BC Hockey League. So we've just changed our, you know, our whole program. So we're, you know, going after the bigger fish as opposed to, you know, coming in with the perception that, you know, this is a lower level junior A league, which it is not for sure now that we've, you know, suffered the consequences of a dismal season last year. So we've sure learned the lesson and we're definitely, you know, regrouped and have a much stronger, push this year. And I'm very comfortable to say we're going to see some vast improvement in our team this year compared to last year.
Hey, sometimes you got to run through the wall to create the doorway, right? And that's what you guys did last season, getting ready for this year right now. You talk about Ogden in that Deneen Cup final, right? That incredible series, a 3-game set, goes the distance. How do you guys become Ogden this year? How do you trade places with them? How does Rock Springs get to the top of that list?
Well, I mean, personally, I've always said this. I think the older you go, the better you're going to be, because you can bring in a bunch of high-level, skilled 16-year-olds, and they have difficulty participating in physical contact with a 20-year-old, and the 20-year-olds are also a little bit more desperate in trying to get a college commitment, so they, the effort level goes way up on a 20-year-old. So I mean, our program is going to focus on a lot of an improvement in bigger, stronger, and more skilled and older is basically what we're going to do. And we've been really focusing on that. Plus, we have a shocking amount of participation coming back from last year's team. Of course, everyone has to make it, but usually in a junior franchise, if you get 8 players returning every year, you're like, wow, that's pretty good. So I have a good team. But in our case, we have, we could potentially have upwards of 15, 16 guys coming back if we want them, of course. But like we've told every player on our team, last year was last year, and this year you're going to have to make it. So, and we've got a bunch of trades that have been affected and also signing. So I'm comfortable to say we're going to definitely load up a better team this year.
Now, you look at the offseason this summer. What kind of camps do you guys have going on? If I'm a player who's interested in getting in front of you guys and trying to make the Rock Springs side, how do I sign up? Where do I go? And what camps are available?
Well, they can just go to our rockspringsgrizzlies.com website, and they'll be all set there. Keep in mind, last year, because we started so late, guess how many camps we had? 0. 0. So I mean, that's the problem we had. We didn't have enough time to get going. But this year we have, I believe, 3, maybe 4 camps that are definitely going to be full participation camps. And because we're a lower level franchise last year, we got lots of room for bringing in players. So if I was a player or dad of a player, mom player, I would be definitely thinking about Rock Springs, because the best teams to go on are the ones that have lots of room for additional players, and as opposed to going to a higher level team where if you're lucky, you get on the 4th line type thing. So I think we're going to get quite a bit of interest in our camps, and our coach Darren Naylor right now is in Boston scouting. So we've been spending quite a bit of time and money scouting and seeing players and so forth. So we're much more prepared this year than we were last year, and that's an understatement of the century.
Watch out for the Rock Springs Grizzlies this year. The boys from Wyoming are coming for the Mountain Division. Wes, I expect huge things out of the Mountain Division as a whole, but even bigger things out of this Grizzlies organization. Good luck, and we're going to let you get back to the draft room here. We're going to throw back to the booth. Dan K, that's myself, and Lucas Jones. Take it away live on the air, Draft Day.